Where are we? PCT.
So I think many women would like to have flowers and a nice dinner, maybe a new dress for their anniversary gift. Not Mrs. W. What do you like?
Let's go hiking! I'd love to go backpacking, but that was kind of out of the question today.
We are hiking on the PCT today, and Mrs. Wranglerstar likes to follow the rules, so she's filling out the form.
I do not. I am a total rule breaker. I married you.
And Jack, what do you think? This is the Heart Racer's first time in the snow, and she is just going crazy out here. How long can she keep it up before I have to carry her? That's beautiful. So it's just probably just about freezing. Probably what are you supposed, 36 degrees or so?
Yep. And it was colder than anticipated, so I've pulled stuff out of my emergency kit in the car, and that's what I'm wearing. And Jack's got my long johns on.
So the Pacific Crest Trail is a trail on the west coast that goes from Canada to Mexico, the National Scenic Area, and it is absolutely beautiful. So it's pretty nice here. There's just little thin patches of snow, nothing more than an inch deep, a lot of cleared spots, but nice thing about coming out this time of year is you don't have to see anyone. Those are some bright shoes you got there.
Clearance! Woo! Jack, you want to see where we are?
No.
All right.
Heart Racer!
So this is kind of cool. We have 3 different types of trees here. Can you name them? How about that one right there? Hemlock. Doug fir. Western red cedar.
So we've got a lot of different things, and it's kind of fun to see it in the snow. So right here is bear grass, and we've got Indian grape right over there. And we've got a snag right here.
Oregon grape.
Yeah, what did I say?
Indian grape.
Oh, yeah. And this is a snag, and there's one behind, a couple behind us too. And in a windstorm, you would not want to be walking.
No, very dangerous.
Yep.
So, interesting thing about the bear grass, it's a real problem because it's there's so much demand for it in with landscaping, that people come up and steal it out of the forest.
No.
Yeah, they make full-time business. It's very expensive, this bear grass. Yeah.
Hi, friend. Hi. Really high. Look at how many logs are down. You think there'd be more water, huh?
We're in drought. So we should never be able to walk this trail this time of year this early. Our mountain has what, 6% of its annual snowpack typical.
Yep. Yeah.
So we're looking at probably a one of the a wildfire season this year that's just unprecedented.
We need to get goats, don't we?
Goats?
Yeah, for our mowing. For fire.
Goats.
Fire suppression.
The Pacific Crest Trail signs in the tree.
Oh.
So this is our lunch spot. How's it look to you, Jack?
Anywhere looks good.
Yeah? Are you hungry?
Bon appetit.
So what did you bring for lunch?
Pastrami, cheese, Swedish knäckebröd, little apples, clementines. What'd you bring?
We have crackers and Tillamook cheddar and deli turkey.
Perfect.
And I have a special treat for Jack.
Woo!
Thank you, Jack. I don't think there's anything better camping than cheese and crackers. Wow, you got quite a thing going on there. What's that?
Pastrami and knäckebröd and a little cheese.
Wow. That's a meal fit for a Viking.
I really wish I had some veggies, but I'll have to get those when I get home. Little cukes.
I think there's no prettier color than that blue sky against the green conifers.
I think you're right.
I mean, isn't it this fantastic?
It's artwork.
What do you got going on there?
I made an igloo.
Glasses off. So
Cody.
can you tell? Can you? I was going to share.
Be nice. Be nice.
I was going to share a trick on how we.
Oh! Boy down.
The tragedy is
Are
you
you okay?
almost dropped an M&M.
Did you save the M&Ms? Did you save them?
Yeah.
Oh, what about my backpack? Ah!
That's the thing that I held on to for dear life.
Perfect.
So is it wrong to share how we bribed Jack to hike long distances?
This is not bribery. This is common sense.
So I have a special treat for Jack, which is typically a candy bar. At the end of the
will
trip.
do as well.
Yes.
Does it work?
Every time.
It absolutely works.
Anyone who says you shouldn't bribe children has never had children.
Yeah, that's about right. Hey, I want to tell you the story of the hemlock. Do you know it?
No.
So, do you know the story of the hemlock tree?
Tell me.
This cone, see this little cone right here?
Yes.
That's a hemlock cone. That's the smallest cone of the conifers. And there's an Indian legend on how it came to be that the hemlock received such a small cone because it's such a huge tree.
Tell me.
Do you know it? Well, when God was giving out pine cones to all the trees, they were all standing in line, and the hemlock was greedy. And the hemlock kept nudging forward and cutting into line and pressing itself forward, thinking that it would get a better cone if it cheated and got to the front of the line. When finally it stood before God, God realized what he had done. He said, "Hemlock, because you have been so greedy, you go back to the very end of the line." And so when the hemlock finally got his turn up before God, he was issued the last and the smallest of the cone. If you look at a hemlock tree, you'll see you can always tell the top of it because its top is bent over like this in shame for its actions, and the reward of its actions was the small cone.
What a tragic story.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's the story. I thought the heart racer would be kind of a small, like a wimpy little lap dog, ankle biter type of dog, but she's not. She's
Faster than me.
yeah, I mean she's very tenacious, she's very courageous, and Lucy goes over the log and she goes under.
Go! Get it! Get it!
It's funny how these little dogs, they sure do bring pleasure to your life, don't they? It's almost like it's a comic relief in a very serious world.
Lucy shows up in her tuxedo every day.
She's got her tuxedo on, she's got her pants on.
Oh, so dressed up. Such a good girl.
Tuxedo.
Always loyal. Such a good girl. Oh, yeah.
I think she was a descendant of the penguins.
She's we call her nice but dim. Not a smart dog, but she's very sweet. The heart racer, she's smart though.
But little. So the gloves that Jack has on are my gloves, actually, but his hands were cold, and they're reindeer gloves, and I've had them 20 years. So I've done a poor job of sewing them up when holes have arisen.
So where does one get reindeer gloves?
You get them at the Valsaloppet Festival.
Oh. Okay. Well, you won't find those on the Amazon store.
You won't, but you will find them in Sweden.
Poor Papa.
So you'll
No
have to find
reindeer
out, is it a
gloves.
sari?
No. These were just
Sami?
they're reindeer hide, so that would be from the Sami Indian, but they are from Mora, Sverige.
Now, you spent some time with the Sami Indians. Who are the Sami Indians?
I don't know that I spent some time, but I went up to Jokkmokk a couple of times for the festival, and the Sami are the indigenous population of Finland, Norway, former Soviet Union, and Sweden.
And they follow the reindeer.
They do, across the borders.
And these are the gloves that they wear?
I don't know if they wear them, but I do.
Well, they're not waterproof.
They are not waterproof, but they are deliciously warm.
The heart racer has reached her limits.
Lucy! Did you ever think you would own a dog that needs a jacket or a sweater?
No.
How did you end up with a lap dog?
I do love the heart racer. Well, somebody's got to be dysfunctional. So this right here, Mama, see that tree right there? That is what we just planted. That's the Western Red.
It's beautiful.
That's what we put the cages around. So tell me why you like this hike today, Mama.
And I'm with my favorite people.
Happy anniversary.
I love you.